In this video, we're going to look at different ways that we can manage our images or videos inside of Lightroom. Now, one way to do that is to flag photos as pick or as reject. That way, you can quickly identify the best images within your library. The other thing that you can do is rank these photos. So let's go ahead and take a look at how we can do this. Now, you can do this in any view, really, within the library. The grid view, the square view, the compare view, or the detail view. Typically, I like doing this in a detail view. This is the keyboard shortcut, because in this view, it gives you the ability to isolate one image and look at that one image only. Now, there's a group of images that I do want to look at, which are essentially all of these images on our library. You could also come up into the compare view down here to easily compare similar images, and you would have that ability to flag them as picks or rejects or even rate them. Like I said earlier, I prefer the detail view, so I'm going to press down a D on my keyboard because in here I get the best view of the image. Now I'm going to press the tab key on my keyboard to remove the panels on the left. Now, looking at this image, it appears to be pretty sharp. If I click on it, I'll zoom in and you can see that it looks pretty good in terms of its sharpness. If I click back, it will zoom out and it looks pretty good in terms of its composition. If you want to zoom in on an area of the image, you can hold down Control or Command key on your keyboard and you'll notice the cursor changes to a magnifying glass with a square marching ant. And at that point, you can click and drag and create a marquee to indicate the magnification level. And where you do that marquee will fit that area on our detailed view. Just like so. You can also use Control or Command key plus your mouse scroll to zoom in and out. And once you're zoomed in, you can press down spacebar on your keyboard to easily pan around your photo. So for the most part, I'm happy with this photo. I'm not crazy about this wheels not pointing more towards the right, but other than that, I think it's a good image. So I'm going to mark this as a pick. And I can do that by coming over here and clicking the pick flag. The pick flag will appear as an identifier within Lightroom. So by flagging this, I know immediately that it's one of my better images. Now, you may want to take that step further and rank it on a star system. Some people don't like using the star system. Some people like just setting their favorite images to a 5-star ranking. So if you're going to pick your images, you may want to mark them as picks, but then take them a step further and give them a ranking. So for example, they've already met a certain threshold of criteria to make it as a pick, but you may want to use this rating system to continue to give you more information about the quality of this image. And like I said, I'm not crazy about this wheels pointing in the wrong way. I think it should be pointed straight though, so I'm going to give this 4 stars. I then want to move to the next image, and you can do that by clicking down here in the film strip view or pressing the right arrow key in the keyboard. And again, I'm happy with this photo. You can click to zoom in to see the sharpness. So it looks fairly sharp. I'll click to zoom back out and I'll go ahead and mark this as a pick. You can use the keyboard shortcut, which is Z on your keyboard, or you can click the flag. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark this a 5-star. I'm going to go ahead and press the right arrow key again on the keyboard. And I like this image. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, zoom in, and looking at this photo, it looks fairly sharp also, especially this emblem. So I'll click back out. I'm going to go ahead and pick this and mark it as a 5-star image. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue this process until I rate or rank all of the photos. But then let's say for some reason I didn't like this image because it has other cars on the background and I didn't think it was the best image of the group. So I no longer want to really consider it. So now we can reject it by clicking this flag right here, which is the reject flag. Or you can press X on your keyboard and that will mark it as a reject. So you can just continue this process to rate and flag your images. And if you are undecided on the photo, you can just simply skip it, or you can unflag it again by clicking the flag that you clicked previously on that photo. Or you can just press down a U on your keyboard to unflag it. Now, if you come back to the grid view by pressing G on your keyboard, you'll immediately see that information when looking at each of these images. You see the 5-star rating, you also see the flag, and in this case, you also see the reject flag. And at this point, once you have ranked all of your photos, you can simply click on this sort drop down here and choose a star rating. In this way, you'll be able to see all of your best photos ranked out from the best to the not so good or rejected images. So these are some of your options inside of Lightroom for being able to mark your better images or your worst images and identify the quality of them right away without having to really investigate the image any further. You can look right here in the grid view and get this important information.